Welcome to the Simple Guy channel. Today we are checking out this ThinkWare U1000 dashcam. I have been looking for a sleek, high-quality 4K camera for my BMW Z4 for a while now, and this might be it. Let's see what comes in the box and what features it has to offer. Then we'll install it in the car and get some driving footage. So looking at the box, we can see the sleek design. On the side here, we see all of the cool features. So it records 4K, which is what I've been looking for, and it's at 30 frames per second, or you can do 2K at 60 frames per second, so that's really cool. It has the Sony Exmor R Starvis sensor. That's a huge deal, so it actually performs well at night. It has ThinkWare Cloud, so this allows you to actually access the camera from your phone over Wi-Fi, but it does have to be connected to a hotspot. Has super night vision, so that has to do with that sensor, so it allows you to see better at night. Built-in Wi-Fi, so we'll see how that works exactly. It has GPS that's built in, and it has some built-in safety features. Looks like we're not on the English side, but yeah, it has a road safety warning, so basically stuff like lane departure and forward collision warning, things like that. To be clear, I did not get this camera for these kind of features. I got it mostly for the quality of the video. Also has a safety camera alert. I think they mean basically red camera alert, so it'll tell you when there's a red camera or things like that coming up. Parking mode, but you do need a hard wire, so you need to connect it to a fused connection. I think some people have also done OBD2, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. And of course it works with Android and iOS, and also they do have applications for PC and MacBook computers. Not much on the side here or on the top, so let's go ahead and open it up. So we have the camera. I'll put it to the side. Let's see what else comes in the box first. So we have a pretty thick manual, lots of languages in here. I'll go through it, see if there's anything worth noting. We have some clips that will help us route the wire. Probably under the dash, you can kind of clip it up and put the wire through it. I like that. We have a 32 gig micro SD card. We have the standard mounting pad, so it's basically a double-sided tape. And so I guess this was the extra, and then we have the actual bracket that's going to go on your windshield. And then of course we have the cigarette lighter power adapter that's going to power our camera. Now let's look at the actual camera. And this is basically why I wanted this camera. As you can see, it's a very sleek design. It's thin. It's going to go basically on the windshield like this and be hidden, and it's not going to be in my way. For me, a lot of the cameras that I have seen before or used, they're too bulky, they're getting in my way, I don't like them. So with this one, I like that a lot. It's very thin, it doesn't have a screen, there's nothing to distract me, it just connects to my phone, so I don't need the extra bulk of the screen and things like that. So I do like that a lot. We see that we can also add a rear camera, I believe. This is for a power in. Not sure what this one does, but we have a radar that we can add as well. This is adjustable. On this side, we have the mic and the reset button, and we have the micro SD slot. On the underside, we have the record button, Wi-Fi, power, and mic. But yeah, looks very cool. I'm gonna go ahead and install it in my Z4 and see what it's like. Now that we are in my BMW Z4, let me show you why I chose this camera and why I think it will work well in this car. So here is a previous camera that I've had, which was actually really good for its time, but now it's like 5 years old and it doesn't record very well, and it's pretty bulky. It would usually sit right here, and as you can see, it takes a big chunk of the windscreen on this small car, and I don't know, I've never used the screen before, and it's too bulky, it's hard to mount, it's hard to get to. So going with this new one, you can see how much sleeker this is and how it's going to fit so much nicer in this area right here. It will be basically hidden from my driver's side right there, view right behind the mirror here, and it's going to be right next to this plastic piece, so it's basically going to just blend in and not even going to be very noticeable, which is what I've been looking for. Of course, this mounting bracket is removable, but it's kind of hard to guess that way, so I usually like to install it just like that. Maybe not all the way, not clipped in all the way, but that gives me the idea where it's gonna go. Then I'm gonna remove the protective film, put it in the spot that I like. I'm gonna give about 1/4 inch at the top and about, I would say, 1/2 inch on the left side. Okay, push it in real hard. And that's it, the camera is now mounted. So of course it's removable. I'm gonna run the power wire now, connect it to the camera, and I'm gonna click it in all the way when I need to. So here's the power adapter, and all I'm gonna do is just run this wire starting here at the dash cam and run all the way around to my cigarette plug. So let me show you how I'm gonna do that. Since I have the old power adapter installed in here, I'm going to remove this panel so I can remove it because I hid all the wire inside this panel. So I'm just going to remove it for this installation as well. Even though we did get the little clips that could have helped us not having to remove this panel and just route it in the back. But I think this might be a slightly neater and nicer job. Okay, I think that's as much as I need to remove. This is the old wire that I'm removing. Now we can install our new one, so I'm gonna route it the same way I had it before in a way, just goes past this part right there. I do have another wire in here already for my camera, for the backup camera. You can find the video in the description or on my channel if I don't put it in there. And now I'm just gonna put all the extra wire, it's not that much, but enough to all kind of hide it in here instead of it being anywhere else. So I'm just gonna route it in there as much as possible and leave myself maybe like 5 or 6 inches of extra wire. That's gonna go just right there. I'm gonna put this cover back, put my screws back in. And done. As you can see, it's a pretty sleek installation. There's not much sticking out, just a tiny bit here, and the wire hides in behind the plastic right away, and you can even push more of the wire in if you like. So pretty cool. So I'm gonna plug the power in, take the protective film off, install the camera. And I'm just gonna re-hide this wire. And fully done. As you can see, the wire is fully hidden within the liner of the car, so nothing is showing. It's sleek. As you can see, installing the camera is very easy and intuitive. All you have to really do is follow the lines of your car, and eventually you will get to the power socket. This of course depends on your car, but on the Z4, that was the process. The software setup on this camera is pretty straightforward if all you want is to use it as a dash cam. After it powers on, press the physical Wi-Fi button on the camera and it will announce that it's looking for a mobile phone. Navigate to the Wi-Fi settings on your phone, connect to the ThinkWare access point, the password is 1 through 9, and then open the app and press the red button at the bottom. Then you will select the model of your camera. In this case, it's going to be the U1000. You will then be presented with 2 options, Wi-Fi and hotspot. First, we will connect to Wi-Fi, and once connected, you can enable and configure hotspot later on. I'll talk about that in a little bit. The camera will announce that it's been connected to a smartphone, and at this point you are connected to the camera and you can view live pictures, so you can adjust the camera angle to your liking. They have useful guidelines to help you set it up. Another option to check when you connect for the first time is the resolution. I have switched mine to 4K at 30 frames per second. But 2K at 60 frames per second works great as well. If all you want is a dash cam, the setup part is done. But of course there are many more options and features here. First, let's talk about the ThinkWare Cloud and the extra features that this camera offers. To be clear, this is all optional and you don't have to use any of these features. But if you want to, you can set up an account and then use it to sign into your ThinkWare Cloud. This accompanying software allows remote view of the camera, impact notifications, and even viewing recorded video that have been uploaded to the cloud. There's only one caveat. The camera must be connected to Wi-Fi to do so. If your car has a built-in hotspot, connect your car to the network and you're good to go. You can also connect it to your home Wi-Fi and use it as a security camera while away. Of course, the camera has to be hardwired in for any of this to work while the car is turned off. Remember that hotspot option we saw earlier? Well, if your vehicle doesn't have one and you're not home, you can connect to your phone's internet. This will allow you to use all of the internet features while on the road. If you do decide to connect your camera to the phone's hotspot while driving though, your Apple CarPlay will most likely not work as it uses Wi-Fi for its own connection. At least that's how it works on my aftermarket unit. Now that I've had it installed for a couple of days, let me tell you about my experience with it so far. I have to say that the quality of the recordings have been very impressive to me, and it looks great when downloaded to a phone or a laptop. The file structure is well designed and is separated by the event type as well. It's quick to boot up and connect to GPS and start recording. It's also quick to announce a few things. Some people have been complaining about this, but I don't think it's too bad. When you start the car, it will announce if there were any incidents while you were parked. That way you can check out your car to make sure nothing's damaged before leaving. It will also announce that continuous recording has been started, and once it's connected to the GPS.
Continuous recording will now start. GPS connected.
After that, the only time you will hear anything is if it connects to the internet or if you come up to a red light.
Red light camera in 0.1 mile.
That has actually been one of my favorite features that I didn't expect to like. It works very well and does not require a Wi-Fi connection. Of course, if you'd like to turn off the announcements completely, you can do so in the settings menu. Some of the other cool features that this dashcam has built in is lane departure warning, front vehicle departure and collision warnings, and a few others. I haven't enabled these personally as I'm not really a fan of these in general, and I don't use it in any of the cars, but people have reported it to work well. I also really like that this has a capacitor built in and not a battery, since this will work well in extreme temperatures, and living in Chicago we go, to two extremes. All of the features I have mentioned and the ones I haven't mentioned are great, but to me what sets this camera apart is the video quality. You have been looking at the day footage in the background, and as you can see, even after YouTube's compression, it's still easy to make out signs and license plates even at speed. Alright everyone, so I just wanted to test and see how well the microphone works on this camera as well. Doing about 50, 55, so higher speed but definitely not like highway speeds or anything. So I just wanted to see how clear my voice comes through. The camera is behind the rear view mirror, and this is a hardtop convertible, so naturally it's a little bit louder in the car than it would be in like a 5 Series BMW or something like that, where there's a lot more insulation. But let's see what it sounds like. The native 4K resolution really shines here, but this footage does take a lot of space. I think they should have included a 128 gig or higher micro SD card with this camera, especially considering the price. I also like how it performs in low light. Next footage was filmed on a cloudy night, yet you can still make out the license plate numbers and of course can easily tell vehicle makes and models, which is important when you're driving at night and need to show some proof of what actually happened. In conclusion, I think this is a high quality, well-designed camera that provides exactly what it promises and what I've been looking for, and most importantly, records great video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.